because George has been named the England captain by Shaun Wane. So it's a really interesting narrative, because I think arguably Mikey Lewis's form this year has been better than George Williams, but he's the England captain, and we know how loyal Shaun Wane is. You know how much trust he puts in players to perform that are tried and tested for him and have been for him in the past.
And it's not as if George Williams hasn't got that quality either.
Listen, there's no question about that. If you're picking on form, it's Mikey Lewis. However, you know, George Williams on any given day can turn it on. There's nothing more certain in life than that. So it's going to be a really interesting team selection and squad selection at the end of the season. Obviously, you've got lots of quality to come back in.
And who's fit has got to come into that as well,
of course,
Paul. We don't know, do we?
You've got Farnworth down there, Dom Young, Victor Radley, Burgess. So you've got lots of big players. Smithies is playing really well down there. So you've got lots of big players. John Bateman, another one. So you've got players down there that are going to be in the thoughts of Shaun Wane come the end of the season with Andy Last. So I just think it's a real opportunity here. You know, you don't get many opportunities to play for your country. It may well be your only one, and you should savour that. So, good luck to them that are on debut today, and let's see what they can do and if they can force the hand of Shaun Wane towards the end of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 debuts: Sam Wood, Brad O'Neill, Elliot Minchella, and Oliver Wilson off the bench. Tom Grant is our man in the middle. And we're just waiting for the final nod from him. It's going to be the French who are going to get the game underway.
It's all on, and these opening couple of sets are going to be interesting, Craig, that is for sure.
They certainly are. They certainly are. So the wind, we saw it in the first half, swirling around a little bit as Johnson hands the ball on to Thompson. Navarrete leading the chase, and that's a really good chase from the French, isn't it?
It's a great start, isn't it?
O'Neill to Matty Lees. Lees fights to his feet. O'Neill again at dummy half. First touch for Minchella in International Rugby League. He'll be happy with that. Get that out the way. The Hull KR skipper.
Yeah, get an early involvement.
A little juggle.
It's not just a juggle, that's a clean drop, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And
Matty Nicholson.
And
He's been flattened there, simple as that.
Yeah, sure. He was.
Oh, it is who got underneath him, is it? It's a standoff half, isn't it?
Yeah, Rouge.
Cesc Rouge, isn't it? Gets right underneath his rib cage and get that into his son.
And if there was any doubt that the French have come to play, Paul Cook,
there it is.
There we go. And scrum, head and feed to France. 25 metres away from the line. England got some defending to do.
I think I've just heard Shaun Wane getting out of his hospital bed.
Yeah, I'm sure he will not be best pleased with that, knowing Waney as we do. Here we go. Can we get some defending to do? Fage. Little shot past to Griffier. And the Rooster is gang tackled. Sam Wood pretty in quick and early. Smith and Curry helping out. Fage. Little shot pass. Navarrete will fight to his feet and play the ball. Again, Fage to the line, links in with Rouge. Rouge, little short pass, and that's a good line from Laguerre, wasn't it? Inside the 10, and England some defending to do down the short side. Little kick. What's the bounce of the ball like? Is it going to be a try? Have they got it down? I think they have. It looks like it's an early lead from the French. Maloudi. Yaha Maloudi?
It's Yaha, isn't it? It's really smart play because the line from Laguerre gets George Williams involved, and a defender on the short side. It's a real issue for full-backs in the game now, because once they're getting an A defender, they're open themselves up to a kick in behind. And because it's such a short side, the winger's got to stay up, and it's a wonderful kick, isn't it? I think it's Theo Fags who kicks the ball. It's just a 3v3 short side, and it's Jack Welsby who's an A defender. The kick in behind Tom Johnson, then Froud Yaha's already onto it. You know, Tom Johnson's got to turn. It's a wonderful start, isn't it, from the French? Oh, it's not. It's the fullback who kicks the ball out of Morg. He's a wonderful player out of Morg. Froud Yaha gets on the end of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Super player. And, you know, quality kick. Yaha read the play fantastically well. perfect weight on the kick, and England behind. And, you know, we alluded to this in the women's game, Paul. The French made a mistake, and England counteracted against that and scored points, and that's exactly what's happened here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Poor Carey.
He juggled the ball first and foremost, didn't he, Matty Nicholson? And then he got what he deserved off the juggle, didn't he? It was Rouge who got underneath his ribs, knocked him backwards. The ball comes out. 3 tackles later, it's a try, isn't it? It's a really, really smart play from Artemog.
Well,
Fabulous eyes up rugby league.
3 minutes in, they've done what they didn't do in 80 minutes last year and crossed, crossed the line. You know, you and I travelling down from the East Coast this morning discussed this game, and we thought this was going to be a really tricky encounter for England. And certainly, as we said, we said with that strong defence in that first hit, England have got to be on their mettle today. And again, that's proved it.
Well, listen, if you wanted to make things more difficult to yourself over in France with a team that's buoyed by the whole Super League experience, you know, from 1 to 17, then England have just poked the beast, really, haven't they? And England are behind on the scoreboard here, and the start to the game has been fantastic from the French.
It has indeed. One of our own, of course, Steve McNamara, who's, you know, turning lots of French junior players into Super League players now, isn't he?
Yes, he is, yeah.
You know, he's making them a really strong outfit. And on home soil,
I think they've gone to the screen on this, Craig. The try's not been given as yet.
No, we're waiting on the decision. Nothing that we've seen that we can rule this one out. Tom Grant is waiting for that decision.
You weren't able to see any replays, but video referee is obviously at the game, and he'll be able to see some. I think it's a try.
And it is a try, and we've taken our time, Paul Cook, but we've got there in the end. No idea what we're looking at.
I think it probably grounding, wasn't it? But you know, it looked a try for all money, didn't it? From live look. So you know, a really good start, as I said. Artemog, you know, 1 versus 1 on the short side, and he manages to slide a kick through past Jack Wellesby, and Fodjah gives France the perfect start.
Super start from the French, absolutely. Test from the goal kicking though. He's a very good player, isn't he, Artemog?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You talk about Steve McNamara, he's one of them French players that, you know, I think if he moved from Catalan, he probably gets in more Super League teams anyway.
He does indeed. Can he add the extras? Round the corner, he's drifting it in. What a kick from the touchline, 6 points to 0. And, you know, that is absolute quality. Quality defence, quality kick in behind. Yahas first there, getting to the ball down. And the kick from the touchline.
Well. The put down was better than I thought.
Yeah, and Morg adds the conversion from the sidelines. And
my apologies to Tom Johnson. It was behind Ash Hanley and not Tom Johnson.
Yeah. Well, I get the try scorer wrong, you get the defender wrong. So let's hope we improve from now on in. So the kick-off, 6-0 down England. Acosta at dummy half. Nothing flash needed after points set is vitally important in rugby league. The French will be hoping to get to the back end of this one, and a good kick. Navarrete on play 1, Busquet on play 2. Curry and O'Neill defence to Costa.
Great tackle.
Up quick on Goudemont.
Harry Smith. Left shoulder. Great contact.
Yeah, Wood involved as well. And now just back, late offload. Farge gets the ball away. They have indeed, and it's this time it's Griffier down the sideline. Curry makes the tackle. Maloudi's at dummy half. Under pressure, but the kick is high. It's a tester for Wellesby.
Great catch.
On the full. Chase is good. Busquet leading that chase. And
it's a good set from points.
Great set after points, Paul.
Absolutely. First one inside the 20. Second one just outside. So, yeah, France have come to play.
Handley. Smith will jump into dummy half. Passes to Johnson. Nothing there. And Garcia. And Navarrete, defensively sound. And England got some work to do. Go back to route 1. And Matty Lees will carry strongly. Thompson on play 2. Second carry for Thompson. O'Neill's at dummy half. Harry Smith with the kick. It's high and it's bouncing.
It's going to bounce.
It is, and he's going to bounce to Welsby. Welsby's very good at that. We've seen that in the past, haven't we? But French then react really well. Fage took a bit of a gamble, didn't he? And
lots of blue shirts around him. Lots of blue shirts around Jack Welsby. So, well, one big tick in the box for France is that they've got plenty of numbers back there, isn't it?
It's always a gamble, though, Paul, when you're not going to take it on the full. We saw it in the Women's International. The wind is swirling around here in Toulouse, and Stade Ernest Wallon Stadium, and very, very difficult to judge the bounce of that ball. But it's 6-0. Dream start from the French. And down the short side they go. And Rouge just has a little snipe from dummy half. The England players are alive to that. Garcia carries strongly. Set restart late in the tackle count, so everything going right for the French, and it's not a disaster for England, but
they're on halfway though. They're one on halfway.
A dream start for the French, and they had them down the touchline. It's played up by England. Maloudi will spin out of one tackle, spin out of two tackles, and he's a box of tricks, Maloudi, hasn't he? We've seen it. Every club he's been at, he's had the ability to burst tackles, and the French will start this set inside England territory. So again, some work to do for the English. That dummy half is Griffier. He gets the pass away to Fage, and Fage will just hand it on to Navarrete, and he will just go hard and straight. Thompson and Lees are there to bring him down. Fage links with Rouge. Rouge at the line to Morgue. The pass is behind, but the referee says it's a knock-on.
It is a knock-on for me. I think they've stripped him of numbers there, though, haven't they? They've just got to... Artemorg, that's a warning for Artemorg, isn't it? Because he's got Anne Handley coming up and in. If he can hold a little bit more depth on that and then find the pass, they've got two players over England, are looping round in defence. So nice play from England. They're going to test the skill of Artemorg here and say you can't catch it and pass it all in one movement, and Artemorg duly obliges.
Yeah, absolutely. First mistake from the French, 7.5 minutes in, 6-0 their lead though, and it's been one-way traffic so far, Paul.
Yeah, it has, yeah. The England have got to the end of one set in the game, haven't they? And they've given away a couple of set restarts after that. Nicholson's dropped the football early.
Wood from the back of the scrum, fed by Brad O'Neill. O'Neill will jump into dummy half. Goes to his right-hand side and picks up Tom Johnson. Nothing there for the Catalan winger, though. Minchella. Again, the French forwards wrestle Minchella to the floor. O'Neill to Smith to Thompson. And the Wigan front row is up and plays the ball quickly. This is better from England. Williams on the front foot. Out the back it goes.
Defence again, this time from the French.
To Welsby, but super tackle by Griffier, wasn't it? Flying in off the line to do some damage as Williams with the kick. It's high. England chase. Coming from the back is Morgan. He's completely overrun the ball. The referee says it's going to be a penalty.
I don't think Harry Smith means to make contact with him. He's not competing for the ball. I think he's just trying to get in the way of Artemorg and make him make an error, but I think he makes contact with him. I don't think the referee's got any option but to give the penalty, and it's an easy out for the French.
It was better from England, though, Paul. Got a bit of speed into the play of the ball.
It was well defended, though, wasn't it, by Griffier on that right edge. Again, positive defence. Oh, he's almost not touched him there. Maybe he has got away with one there, Artemorg.
Yeah, and I'm going to defend my error earlier because I've just looked at the team sheet and Yaha is named at 2 but playing at 5. So, but there, the French, as we approach 10 minutes again, good yards down the short side and Fage throws the dummy. Tackle had to be made by George Williams, but again it's the French on the front foot. They've got 3-on-2 down the short side again. Good tackle from Williams, but the French are on the front foot. Through hands it needs to go. Fage will run at the line. Out the back it goes. Further wide into the arms of the centre. Griffier, can he get past Harry Smith? No, he can't. Smith does enough and waits for Curry to complete the tackle. This is the last one. The kick is perfectly weighted into the in-goal. Watch the chase like it's good. Can England get back into the field of play? No, they can't. And super play by the French. Great little kick in behind. Okay, the chase was good. The kick was perfect. And Welsby did everything he could. In fact, it wasn't Welsby, was it? It was Nicholson. And Nicholson tried to get himself back into the field of play. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't. But once again, super play from the French, Paul.
Fantastic kick, wasn't it? It splits the post, doesn't it? And Welsby can't get to it because of the post. Nicholson cleans up for England, but he can't get out of his own in goal. So French have started this game really well.
Smith with the drop out. Navarrete from backfield winds himself up. Minchella and Nicholson make the tackle. Quick off the line of England, but Fage has seen a little gap in behind and almost pokes his nose through. O'Neill's good enough to make the tackle. Da Costa to Morg. Morg with some footwork, beats a couple of defenders and then steps and takes on the middles of England. But the two front rowers, Thompson and Lees, are up to the challenge. But the French again knocking on the door. This time they'll go to the left. Little short pass and good defence from England. Great super tackle on the back row, Seguier from Williams and Nicholson. But again, still the French inside the 20. Out the back it goes to Morg. Through the hands, and it's a really good tackle from Sam Wood on his opposite number. And Griffier, this is the last one. This time Morg goes aerial, looking for the knockdown. It's knocked down by George Williams, and Williams did ever so well there, but some hard yards coming from England off their own line, Paul.
Yeah, brave carries coming up, aren't they? Ash Hanley, some low-flying aircraft coming out here.
There's indeed.
The French are playing some really good rugby league here. Putting England under all sorts of pressure. Kick from Morg that time was a good one.
That pass was flat at best, wasn't it? Johnson still not out the 20. They're going to need a big kick here. Thompson on the 5th. So still inside the 30. Harry Smith needs a big kick. He's got some distance on it. Can he find terra firma? No, he can't. Taken by Maludi on the 20. Back to the 30.
You must say, that the French are very much deserving of a 6-0 lead, and territorially possibly could be more in front. Certainly England coming off their own line more often than not.
Yeah, Yaha with the carry. Da Costa's at dummy half. We'll go down the short side to Laguerre. Williams, who's done an awful lot of defending in the opening 13 minutes. As the French just
can't have him
lay the platform. Garcia's stood on his feet and playing the ball.
It's a shocker.
Fage is going to kick running forward into space behind.
He wants it to stay
Tom
in there,
Johnson, he does want it to stay in.
It's a poor kick for me. I know it looks like a great kick there, but if that stays in and Maludi puts pressure on Johnson, England have got to get back behind the ball and the game speeds up again, doesn't it? And England will be happy of the break.
So 13 minutes, Paul. Coach's hat on. The French will be delighted.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm England here, I'm trying to find Da Costa in the middle. Trying to move Busquets around and Navarrete around. Trying to play in between the B and C defenders and move the big fellas around the corner. And then when you find Da Costa, stay on him. He's the smallest in the middle. There we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then trying to get a kick away, which puts the French under pressure. You've got to try and grind your way back into this game.
Laurent Fresnus, the French coach, will be delighted, won't he?
Yeah.
Andy Last, the England coach, won't be too worried, but England haven't done too much wrong. I think enthusiasm from the French has been really good as Minchella links in with Lees.
One thing you can't do in big games, Craig, he's coughed the ball up early, and I think it was 4 plays when Nicholson coughs the ball up. Great pass from Welsby, gets it on the edge to Hanley.
Yeah, Hanley's found a bit of space. First time England putting ball through hands, and Hanley makes some yards down that right-hand channel. Come back to the middle with Smith.
And that's what I'm talking about. Try and find some space. Johnson's onto that.
And again, they wanted to stay in the field of play this time, Harry Smith. And Maludi and Morg are delighted to see the ball bounce into touch. Steve McCormack there, coaching duties with Andy Last for England. And it's a really good kick from Smith. He just wanted to stay in the field of play, didn't he?
Yeah, he could have done with it staying in. I don't think it's too harmful for England because they've been under so much pressure I don't think it's a bad thing for England, but certainly helps the French a little bit more with that kick.
Does indeed. So the French not struggling to get behind the ball, but they're taking every second available to get behind the ball.
Well, they've got zero shape, the French, have they? When you look at the team there, they've got no shape to run the ball to an edge, so England can afford to tighten up defensively here and start banging people. There we are.
Yeah. It's Harry Newman who
Same
flew
again,
in.
there's no shape again, is there, off Garcia, so
Yeah, it looks like French are
one out.
maybe lacking a little bit of petrol.
They've got lost there, haven't they, and that's full set. I mean, this has been a poor set by the French.
It's been a shocking set, hasn't it? But it's been good defence from England. Ramped up O'Neill and Nicholson involved in that latest tackle. It's back to the big man, Busquets, to
Last play now.
get some yards. Now it's a difficult kick for the French, and Rouge has got some distance. Great catch off his bootlaces from Johnston, and he looks up and
So all of a sudden that kick from Harry Smith and that set, you know, that ball to Ash Hanley on the right hand side has just changed the momentum of the game a little bit, hasn't it?
the arm wrestle has just gone
Yeah,
back
just gone
England's
back
way,
in
hasn't
England's
it?
favour, yeah. Over
Wood.
40 on play 2.
Play 2, Wood. Wellesby's at dummy half. Gets the pass away to Ash Handley, and the Leeds winger will try and fight to break through the tackles. Can't do so. O'Neill will go down the short side to Thompson. But again, the French get numbers in the tackle, and Garcia will be the last man to his feet.
It's a knock on.
Thompson has a little juggle with it, and Garcia, the French warrior at 13. Thompson doesn't like the decision. Knock on every day of the week for me, Paul.
It is, yeah. I don't understand why he comes back into the ruck. He comes back into the ruck at all three of the middles. It's a bizarre decision for me. You know, if you're talking about moving the big fellas around the corner, you don't go back at Garcia, Busquets and Navarrete.
Yeah, that's the strength, isn't it?
Stupid, isn't it? You know, you've got to move them around the corner and get a little bit wider of the ruck. I don't think the plan is to go behind the ruck on France, not early in the game anyway.
I think what we can say, Paul, with a little bit of confidence, I don't think we're getting to 60 points to nil.
Absolutely.
60 points from England this year. As Maludi, as I said, he's strong and awkward, and he backs his way over the halfway line. The pass from Da Costa to Yaha, and England all offside, and you know, again, it's just not happening for England at the moment, Paul.
Well, what you can't do is start trying to referee the game. If I was Jack Wellesby in England here, I'd be concentrating on my own backyard and sorting out what you can control. I think French are going to go 8-0 in front of you.
Yeah, Moggs asked for the kicking tee. I think that's the right decision.
Well, it's a test match, isn't it? And they're treating it as such. Goes 8-0 in front, 2 scores. And that tells me everything about England's performance so far, that they're getting together before the kick's kicked and probably having a chat with each other.
Yeah, Tom Grant's telling the England players, isn't he? Don't get involved, don't get involved. Give England defenders every chance to pull out the tackle. And Arthur Morg kicked his first from the touchline. This one's just inside the 40.
It's a gimme for a quality kicker, isn't it?
It's not straight in front, is it? It's about 2 or 3 metres to the left of the posts as Morg looks at it, but a kicker of his quality should have no problem and doesn't have any problem, and it's 8 points to 0 the French lead, Paul Cook.
Yeah, I think fully deserving of an 8-point lead, Craig, and I think they've been fantastic. Got a little bit lost in that last set, didn't they? And then England made the error of going in behind the ruck with Luke Thompson. I'm pretty sure that shouldn't be the plan, or isn't the plan. And then all of a sudden Brad O'Neill strays offside, and it's just a little bit lazy from England, isn't it? The start's been lazy.
Yeah, it's been an encouraging start if you're a French fan.
Well, sooner or later Andy Lask's going to move some players on and knock some players off the field that aren't playing so well. Going to have to start making some changes because the players on there aren't doing the job.
Minchella's trying to get some forceful defence as Busquets, such a big man, isn't he, and strong carrier of the football, but Ben Curry managed to wrestle him Onto his back is Garcia. Stood on his feet last time. This time he can't, and he's forced back the way he came. And again, Ben Curry heavily involved. Rouge gets the pass away, and the French have got to the last tackle. Need a decent kick. Thompson has made some good yards to put pressure on the kicker, Rouge, but it's going to land in the hands of Tom Johnston. Johnson looks up, nothing there, and again ticking the box from the French. Paul, 20 minutes gone, 8 points to 0.
Yeah,
France lead.
Laurent Fresnay will be delighted with the French start.
Yep.
England have not had any field position whatsoever, have they? And they've had no chance of, any sort of repeat sets. They've not been close enough to the France line.
Nicholson. O'Neill at dummy half. Minchella to Smith. This is better from England. Welsby links in with Wood. Wood's tackled ball and all by his opposite number, Griffier. Quick play of the ball, and Welsby's down the short side, gets the pass away to Johnson. Johnson down the line, one-on-one with Rouge, steps inside him. Can he get the ball away? He does. To Welsby. Welsby for the corner. Can he get in? He's got the ball down. Super play by the Saints fullback. England in the blink of an eye. Suddenly, they charm into light, and some quality from Johnson, made by the try scorer Jax Welsby. He scores in the corner. I think we've gone to the big screen again, Paul. I don't think there's any problems there whatsoever. Yeah. And England hit back. It's France 4, France 8, England 4. Yeah. Decision to come.
Yeah, I think it will be 8. It will go to 8-4 with the kick to come. I think Jack Welsby gets up in the air here. We'll just see it here. He gets a left-hand fend. He's not in touch at all, is he?
No.
Nowhere near.
And he leaves the ground.
Just trying.
Super play, and the best rule in rugby league in my lifetime, the corner flag.
Not part of the field anymore, yeah. Wonderful rule.
Wonderful rule.
I'll say this, Craig. Griffier's just clocked off, and at international level, you can't afford to clock off. He's at marker when Jack Welsby goes short side. There's a 1.5 metre short side, and Griffier's got to check that short side before he goes left, and he doesn't do that. That costs his team dearly, because Tom Johnson's down the edge, then draws in Maludi, who frees Tom Johnson up, who gets a pass back to Jack Welsby, and the try scored in the corner with a kick from Harry Smith. But Griffier will be really disappointed, and so will Laurent Fresnay with his right centre. He's just gone left when he should check short sides first.
And big games come down to moments like that, Paul, don't they?
Craig,
you can't switch off for a second.
The higher level you go up, the more you are caught with little things,
Detail.
Any little bit of detail, the detail there is to check right, just step right. Don't give Jack Welsby that 1.5 metre short side. You'll just see it here. No, he's clocked off. He's just gone left when he should go right, and then it's Fargs down the short side.
Great footwork from Johnson. And Welsby does what he does and stays alive, doesn't he? Super play. You can see lots.
It's a really disappointing one, isn't it, for the French, because they've been undone by a real poor error from them in defence, whereas I think their try was a real quality piece of play from Artemog with his kick. So, take nothing away from Welsby taking that short side, but it should never be on option.
Harry Smith, first kick. You often say his first kick's his most important.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I do. Yeah, listen, there's no doubt he's a quality goal kicker.
We're right behind it. That looks good to me.
Good enough for me, anyway. It has just gone over.
Just sneaked over. I thought it was dripping out there at the last minute, but Harry Smith has the goal, 8 points to 6. Super League half-season pass available now for just $49.99. Watch the best of the action from the Betfred Super League each week as the race to Old Trafford reaches its peak. Don't forget also tickets available for Magic Weekend, 17th and 18th of August, the Betfred Grand Final on October the 12th, and England versus Samoa in Wigan and Leeds on the 27th and 2nd of November. Tickets are available for those. 8-6 here. France versus England in the mid-season international on Super League Plus. Myself, Craig Murdoch and Paul Cook bringing you all of this one. Earlier today, we saw a really good game of rugby league between two women's teams. England winning that one 42 points to 0. But it's the French who are leading this one 8-6 as Ben Curry gets the ball and brings it forward a few metres. Bit of a wrestling match with Seguier as Minchella carries on the back of that. We alluded to it with the French. set after points is vitally important as Welsby again gets them down the right-hand side and Newman's into space. He's got numbers on his left, he's got numbers on his inside. He gets the ball to his winger. Handley, France do well, but Hanley does even better. England go back-to-back. Super play by Williams, even better by Newman. And the finish from Ash Hanley in the corner is first rate. Excellent play from England. They go back-to-back. They were 2 points behind. They're now 2 points in front. It's France 8, England 10.
He put that down to Elliot Minchella. Elliot Minchella wins the ruck, doesn't he? He throws Navarrete over his shoulder, which leaves one marker. You know, they can't get the defence set on that short side, and then George Williams picks it. Great skill from George Williams. He goes at the line. He's got Welsby on a sweep line. You know, back row, Nicholson on a short lead, which holds everybody in. Harry Newman does a decent job there. I think that Hanley does even better to get rid of Artemog, which is disappointing to Artemog, but fantastic play. But starts for me with the winning of the ruck from Elliot Minchella, when he throws Navarrete over his shoulder, and then England pick the right-hand side, short side, 5v3, and then they don't miss. It's a fantastic try.
Yeah, quality play all round. People doing their jobs that they're there to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Minchella runs the ball and he gets between B and C, and he means that Navarrete's got to come in from a defender and make the tackle. Once he makes that tackle and he shoves him over his shoulder, you can't get anybody around the corner because they've gone too far, England. It's too far for them middles to travel around the corner. And then it's all about George Williams picking it along with Brad O'Neill at 9. You know, Welsby just gets on the back of it and Hanley finishes it. Fantastic.
And Hanley finishes it. You know, still had some work to do, didn't he? And I often think when I watch Ash Hanley, he's big and he's athletic and he's quick. But I think a lot of teams underrate how strong he is. And we saw him there. He got rid of Artemog, you know, fantastically easily, if that makes sense. But it's a tester for Harry Smith. He's just nailed one from the left touchline. Can he do it from the right? As I said, they were 2 points behind. They are now 2 in front. Can he make that 4? 4 to 6 is vitally important. Not this time. But again, England in a whole healthier place now. France 8, England 10.
Well, on 20 minutes, there was 8-0 down, Craig. On 20 minutes, they're 8-0 down. So, you know,
big 5 minutes,
22, 24. 22 and 24 minutes now. On 25 minutes, they're 10-8 in front. And in the blink of an eye, straight back in this game.
Yeah, we're getting to that point now as well, aren't we, where we'll see the interchanges of both teams. Keep that momentum going. England have just won the floor a couple of times, haven't they, as you said?
Yeah, that was it. Elliot Minchella. Yeah. Just moving the French around, getting on that, you know, edge defenders, not running back into the ruck.
Johnson hands the ball on to Matty Lees in the Saints front rower. Charges towards the 20. Ben Curry on play 2. O'Neill to Thompson.
That's better line, isn't it? It's out the way of that ruck, so you're moving players around. It's much better player from Luke Thompson, which then frees up some space.
And O'Neill
moved the defenders.
O'Neill finds that space and he's in behind. And again, England have hit the accelerator. Smith on the front foot gets the pass away to Welsby. Super feet from Welsby. The pass wasn't the best to Johnston. Can he get rid of Fage? Yes, he can. Then he finds some free space. Johnson hits the accelerator, beats 2, beats 3. Can he left the pass to Harry Newman? Newman down the touchline. He's got the winger Ash Hanley with him. England go back to back. Super tries. 3 tries in 6 minutes from England. 2 of those to Ash Hanley. Brilliant play from England. Johnson with the initial break on the left. Finished off by Handley on the right. Doesn't get much better than that. France 8, England 14.
Oh, that is super play, isn't it? Harry Smith at the line. He pulls it back to Jack Welsby. He rides the tackle of Maludi and gets a bounce pass to see. He can't defend them, but take a bow, Tom Johnson. He's just hit the accelerator. He's beat 6 players there before he throws what is a wonderful 20-metre pass to Harry Newman, right on his chest, and Harry Newman just has to hand it on to Ash Hanley, who dives in at the corner. But that pass is sensational, Craig. You know, he's running at full pace there. He's already beaten 4 or 5 defenders. Fabulous play from the left winger.
Yeah, left to right 20-metre pass. Paul Cook in his area would have been proud of that one.
Absolutely.
Newman did well, and Hanley just says, thank you very much. I'll finish that off in the corner. No doubt whatsoever with that one. No doubts at all. And as you said, in the blink of an eye, 8-0 down.
Yeah, and now 14-8 up.
14-8 open.
To come.
You know, Sean Wayne was grumpy in his bed. He's a whole lot better now.
He is. He's been sedated, I think.
There's Thompson. First substitution for England. The French about to make one as well as big Justin Sangara. Huge specimen of a man, isn't he?
Oh.
Big man. And Harry Smith.
Well, they need to make some changes, the French, because they started really well for 20 minutes and it's all of a sudden just gone pear-shaped, hasn't it? You know, they've not been able to win any rucks whatsoever, and they've been run around the field a little bit before Brad O'Neill takes off there, and they're going to ring some changes. Taki Chan off the bench along with Sangara.
Yeah. So Harry Smith from the sidelines. Round the corner. It's going close, and it just drops short, doesn't it? So France 8, England 14, the scoreline remains, but it's been a purple patch of that.
Yeah,
6 minutes from England from 20 to 20.
6 minutes, 14 points.
Yeah, super play from them, and just speeded up the game, Paul, didn't they? That's all they've done,
Yeah,
they've just speeded up the game.
Since they had that chat when they went 8-0 down, then they've hit another gear, haven't they? Probably the pep talk that they needed was after about 16, 17 minutes.
Yeah, and the French not done too much wrong. It's Tyler Dupree. From the bench, he replaces Thompson, so it's first carry for him. Curry will take play 2. Is that Harrison on as well? I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
he's changed 2 front rows, hasn't he? He's changed both the starting front rows. He's left
So Leeds
Minchella out there.
and Thompson are off. That is a good carry from Minchella again, poking his nose between the two defenders on the front foot. Harry Smith's able to kick, looking for that 40-20. He's not going to get it. Yaha's back.
There's a breeze in the England face.
But it's a good chase from England. Certainly ramped up England, Paul, haven't they?
It's the first time that they've had the ball since 20 minutes, this, isn't it? Not had the football for almost 10 minutes, the French, other than to kick off.
Stood behind their posts. They'll just try, and Maloudi pushes off. He's got such strength, hasn't he, Maloudi?
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? Yeah, Jack in a box.
You know, it's very difficult when you don't know what you're doing yourself for others to know what you're doing. We've seen it many times, haven't we?
Spent most of my career doing the same.
Chan.
That's a good carry from Taki Chan. And that's what's going to get the French back in the game. He's getting to the back end of sets and finish them like this.
Yeah, decent kick from Rouge. It's high. It's in between Wellesby
Oh, he's took a chance and let it
and
bounce.
Johnson. And again, the wind's swirling around. We saw it in the first game. And again, it just ebbs and flows which way it's going. And it just went on the wind there, out the back. And 7 tackles now for England. And Tom Johnson, who was the architect of that last England try, will carry.
Don't push early in the set. Come on, France.
The left winger on player 1, right winger on player 2. Hanley. Minchella. Little soft hands pass to Tyler Dupree. O'Neill to Smith on the front foot. Gets the pass away to Curry. Curry pokes his nose through. Far's just about held on. Wellesby's into dummy half. Again, England hit the accelerator. Williams offloads out the back to Wellesby into the arms of Harrison. Then to Smith. Smith cuts out Nicholson and finds Newman. Newman will stand and then offload back to Nicholson. England again going end to end, making yards relatively easily. Newman's in at dummy half, just outside the 10. Smith gets a pass away to Minchella. Minchella bites into the teeth. Williams with the floated pass to Johnson. Johnson down the touchline. Another magical try from England. And the wingers from the England side are having a field day. Super pass from Williams. Super play from England all round. And it's finished off by Tom Johnson. It's France 8, England 18.
Yeah, it's just too quick for the French, isn't it? You can see them, they're on the back foot. Minchella digs into the line. Dupree outside him, and it's a wonderful pass from George Williams, isn't it? 20 metres over the top. He sees Maloudi coming in. Maloudi and Griffey have no choice but to come in because England have stacked the numbers, and they've moved the French around that much in that set of 6 that there's got to be space somewhere. You just see the French to start flagging. No inside pressure whatsoever. Ulrich de Costa's running on empty. Can't get any inside pressure on the ball players, and the ball players pick passes. This quality England halves.
Absolutely, and again, you talk about the little bit, the detail. I mean, Chella just straighten that up into the line, just holds up the defence, doesn't it?
Dupree outside of it as well, his line's good. He makes contact with the French defender, but fortunately the French defender stays on his feet. But yeah, the detail of it is smart, isn't it? You know, they've moved them across the field from left to right, and then they've hit them back left where they can get no inside pressure. They've just moved all of the French big middles from middle to the left edge, and then they spin the ball left. Williams' pass is outstanding, and they run out of numbers, the French.
They do indeed, and you know, again, I was alluding to earlier that, you know, it's going to be a tougher game, but England have just found some quality and found some, you know, real speed of the game, haven't they?
They've done it all in 11 minutes, Craig, from 22 to 32, and it's not 33 minutes. They've scored 18 points in 11 minutes. Could be 20.
You know, it could indeed. So, 4th try for England. Harry Smith has missed 2 goals.
2.
4 tries and a goal so far. He kicked this one here in the first one. He's not going to get that as well. So he's 1 from 4, 25% from the boot. And probably he kicks those goals and England are out of sight. Yeah. And game is almost over.
Yeah, it's still in the balance at the minute, isn't it? 18-8. 10's not a big lead. You know, if you can get out to 14-18, then it should be comfortable enough in a big game. But it's a really big 6 minutes here for the home team because they've had nothing. They've only had a couple of sets in the last 12 minutes, and that takes its toll on you, doesn't it?
And what England are doing as well, Paul, isn't it? They're keeping the pitch wide and big.
Well, they didn't start like that, Craig, did they? They started by trying to go forward through the middle of the ruck, as I said, with Luke Thompson when he makes the error. But I think they've moved the French around much more.
You know, and the wingers sticking to the touchline. And
Ollie Wilson off the bench.
Yep. That's for his debut.
Good luck, young man.
Yeah, and he'll be happy. He's got that first carry out the way. I think that's 16 of England players used, just Mikey Lewis. And that's not what the French want, is it? Jack in the box, Mikey Lewis to be put into the game at some point as Harrison carries and Sangara chops him down, but he's up quickly. Williams cuts out Nicholson to Newman.
Yeah,
Newman in a wrestling match with Laguerre.
Yeah, good defence, that, wasn't it? From
it was.
The left centre.
Hanley's at dummy half. French just need some ball, don't they? As Nicholson will get to halfway. This will be the last one. First kick Smith's had where he's had somebody in his face for a little while. But the kick is high.
Yeah,
Great
well
take by Morg.
Yeah.
Needed to, didn't he?
And sooner the fullback come me and drop it, Craig, and be positive with it. He didn't drop that one and gives France back possession and outside of their own 20.
5 minutes to go to the break. It's 18-8. England lead here in Toulouse. Already won the women's game 42 points to 0. Some impressive performances. Amy Hardcastle was given the official man of the match, but there's some good performances all round. Don't forget Super League Plus half-season pass available at $49.99. But the game goes on here, and the French are into England territory, but super tackle by Dupree on Chan, clubmates, of course, at Wigan. The ball is high up into the edge. Johnson comes forward. He's underneath it, takes it well, gets rid of Farge, then pokes his nose through the tackle, and again he's to his feet and playing the ball quickly, and on the back of that Sam Wood will pick up a good 10 metres. And again England ramp up the speed. Can the French slow them down, or are England going to get more points before the break? Charging Ollie Wilson goes over halfway. O'Neill picks up and goes to his right to Smith, out the back to Williams. The ball goes behind. Nicholson's wrapped up by the half-back Rouge, and that was bad pass, wasn't it? Yeah. And garbage in, garbage out, Paul Cook. One of them should have just wrapped it under the wing, as Ash Handley is doing now. And England are on the last. It'll come to Smith. Onto that left boot. It's high to Tester for Maludi. Maludi does well.
Great kick, wasn't it, Hakeem Maludi?
Wellesby does well, and again, needed to take that ball, and he did, didn't he? He was very confident. The French, they just need to get to half-time, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they need to get in the sheds, and I think Laurent Fresnel needs to have a word with them. I don't think the French bench has been as effective as the England bench. I think the England bench has come on and made a real difference, and I think the French bench has not continued the big start from the middles.
Yeah, Morg tries to use his footwork on Harrison, but Harrison makes the tackle.
Taki Chan shortened up by Brad O'Neill.
Yeah, clubmate on clubmate again. Wilson finishes off the tackle. Da Costa at dummy half. Rouge on the last. He's kicked, and referee's going to say that's a late hit, Paul Cook.
And a little bit of afters as well, Ollie Wilson.
Yeah, Maludi, there's a surprise. Tyler Dupree. The referee's going to say time up. I think someone's in the bin here, Paul Cook, I would have thought. Bit of handbags.
It's handbags, isn't it? I mean, separate, boys. We've all got homes to go to.
Yeah, just... I don't think it was too late, Paul. I didn't catch it out.
I'll say this, Craig. Don't touch kickers, you know, because as soon as you, or anybody ball playing, because as soon as you touch them and they go to ground, it's a dead set penalty and possible yellow card, and you're letting your team down. And it's a conversation that I have weekly. You know, just leave people alone.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, gone are the days where ball players have to protect themselves. They don't have to anymore.
So let's have a look. The kick's there from Rouge.
Just don't touch him. I mean, I don't understand why Ollie Wilson touches him.
Yeah. He just pushes him in the face, doesn't he?
Well, what's the point of that? That's not going to hurt anybody, is it?
No, it's high. I think he's going to be lucky if he doesn't spend 10 minutes in the bin here, Paul.
Yeah, it's just you're taking a chance, and there's no need. There's no need to.
Yeah, so it's Ollie Wilson. George Williams is going to be called in. Da Costa as well. Ben Garcia, sorry, not Da Costa. Da Costa was just loitering near the referee. Everybody calm down. We've got a minute to go to half time.
Yeah.
And a penalty to the French.
Just grow up.
So it's a penalty. What do French do, Paul?
I think they run the ball. They're not going to win by kicking a goal here, are they? I think they've got to score some points and spend some time down the England end, because they've not been down here for such a long time.
So what have they got? A minute and a bit?
Yeah, it's a full
2
set.
minutes, haven't they? Almost 3 minutes to go till the break. 2 minutes 45 seconds.
Just play on.
So if they don't score a repeat set, they'd have enough time for 2 complete sets, won't they? Can England defend the line? Pivotal moments of the first half. France 8, England 18. As Sangara drives towards the posts. Da Costa. To Farge.
You can't play long to a half there, Craig. You're not holding the middle in any which way.
Nowhere to go for
You're just cutting
the
out
Catalan
the space.
back rower Sangara. Now it's
Cutting out the space on a 7 spear.
the skipper. Garcia put to the floor. Good tackle by O'Neill. Here goes Sangari, tries to get the offload away, and he's tried to force it. It's picked up by Tyler Dupree, and
Yeah, it's a knock on. Sangara just can't afford to make them errors. He's come off the bench and not played great for me. I don't think the middles of the French that have come off the bench have added anything. And that's another error from Sangara.
you know, late offloads are dangerous, aren't they? If you can do it, but
you've
there's
got-
too
you've
much
got-
traffic there, isn't there?
Three blokes on you, Craig. That's not a good decision, is it? Not when you've had no football. No, they're the difference between your top international players and those that are trying to make the way to be a top international player.
Absolutely. So England, do they put the cue on the rack, or do they play some expansive stuff and try and increase their lead? As Wilson's got nowhere to go with that carry. Ben Curry, who's worked hard in the first half. Sangara is there to wrap him up. O'Neill. To Wood. He's a big man, isn't he, Sam Wood? Can easily do those carries again. England trying to create the
Forward. Yeah, just a little bit of a lack of skill, wasn't it, on the edge, and it's going to give France one more chance to post points before half-time.
Yeah, Sam did well, didn't he? Played the ball really quickly. O'Neill out at dummy half. Smith.
Yeah, it's forward, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, Williams had linked round from the right to the left, hadn't he, to create
I think he just got a little bit too giddy and went a little bit too quick at the line. He could have played a little bit slower and deeper and given himself chance to bring Maloudi onto him.
Time off, stay in. This side, defeat this side. Relax.
So the scrum
Keep your defenders in line. Harry Tyre.
will be fed by Farge when he gets the ball.
Time's off anyway, isn't it? So they need a ball on the field, but there's only a minute to play now.
Andy Last, he'll be happy with the second 20 of that first half,
Absolutely.
won't he?
Nice and tight.
A half of two halves almost. French 8-0 up with 20 minutes. Looks like they're going to go in 18-8 behind. There's
They've got
Morg.
a chance here, haven't they? They're going to have 4 players at least here. England trying to slow everything down, knowing it's the last set of 6 that they've got to defend, so they're going to lie on as much as possible, and even if they give away 6 again, they're not going to be bothered.
And they've just given that 6 again. It's not going to make any difference whatsoever, is it? We've got 2 players left. So De Costa to Farge to Rouge. And standoff steps off that right foot, but
Just holding down. Game
Ollie
over.
Wilson is there, and there goes the half-time hooter. And Maloudi's furious that they didn't get the ball to the edge. There goes the half-time hooter, and Paul Cook. It's been a half of 2 halves. French started really well. England hit back and scored some quality tries in that second
they
part.
did. I just think England was a little bit lax coming out, you know, for a test match. I think, you know, to drop the ball first set, you know, that pleases nobody. Certainly not Andy Last and Sean Wayne at home watching. You know, they got what they deserved in the first 20 minutes, and then, as I said, when the French went 8-0 in front on 19 minutes, that's when England got together into huddle and decided they're going to change the way or play the way they've probably been told to play in the game and move the French players around the field. And once they did that and the game sped up, then it made it much easier for people to pick passes and to pick off the French players on short side. So it's going to be a really interesting second half. The game's certainly not over with it only being a 10-point deficit, but England are certainly in a decent position.
England have showed real quality with their finishes of the tries.
Yeah, once they've wrestled the momentum back from France after 20 minutes, they hit them. You know, as I said, they hit them within 12 minutes, and it was 18 points in 12 minutes, which is, you know, some going, you know, for any team, let alone an international game. So, you know, I think Andy Last will just reiterate their messages calmly that, you know, we don't have to blast this team through the middle. We've got to move them around because they're so big, and, you know, they're not great laterally. So, you know, for the French, they've got to get back to what they was doing early, and I think Laurent Fresneau can give a rocket to his bench and tell them to go out and empty the tank before he brings on his starters again.
All in all, Last, he'll be happy with that first 40.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no question. I think after, you know, when you go 8-0 down in a test match, to get back to 18-8 before the break inside 12 minutes will please him. But he'll certainly want to fix up some of the things that there was doing poorly in the first 20.
So the story of the first half then, Yaha scores after a great kick by Morg on 3 minutes. Morg converts from the touchline, 6 points to 0. He adds a penalty on 19 minutes, and it's 8 points to 0. That is as good as it got for the French in the first half. Then it was all England. Wellesby with a super try, converted from the touchline by Smith. Then 3 pieces of magic by the wingers, 2 from Handley, 1 from Tom Johnson on 24, 26 and 32. None of those were converted by Harry Smith. Half-time here in Toulouse is France 8, England 18. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back for the second.
Artemog's really clever kick on that 3-man short side before Yaha puts it down, and then, you know, they just got lazy. You know, they just didn't get back on side, or, you know, they didn't finish the sets how you would expect England to finish their sets, and France rolled into an 8-point lead. So I think the chat on 19 minutes, 20 minutes has done England a hell of a lot of good. They've then probably started playing how they wanted to play from the beginning of the game by moving the big French forwards around and duly sped up the game, as I've said, and then you know, some really smart bits of detail. You know, the Elliot Minchella, you know, winning the play the ball and getting rid of a player over the back and leaving Brad O'Neill and George Williams a short side to attack, which Hanley finishes. And, you know, I just think that the more the game went on and the more that England played at speed, the more difficult the French found it.
All 4 debutants been involved in that first half, and all have had some good touches.
Yeah, Ollie Wilson had a nice touch on Theo Fags, didn't he? You know, you've got to be careful because, you know, nowadays the game's not going soft. It's just, you know, that we're looking after the players' welfare with head injuries, and you're better off just not touching anyone. But yeah, all 4 of them have been very good. Not seen Mikey Lewis yet. I'm not sure where he'll come into this game, whether he comes on and replaces Williams or Smith, or whether he comes on and replaces O'Neill as a 9. It'll be an interesting one. So yeah, it's not rosy in England's garden, as you say, Craig. They've got some work to do here. This will be a big 10 minutes, and I think it'll be even bigger when the starting front row comes back off the bench for Catalan, for the French, because they got them rolling forward, and if England can handle that, then I think they'll go on and win the game a little bit more comfortable than a 10-point lead.
Yeah, so we've got the full second half to come. Don't forget, Super League Plus half-season passes available for just $49.99. Watch the best of action from the Betfred Super League each week, as well as the race to Old Trafford reaches its pinnacle. Obviously, some super documentaries on players on there as well, and some older matches. Tickets are available for Magic Weekend on August the 17th and 18th. Betfred Super League Grand Final in October. That will be here in the blink of an eye. Don't you worry about that. That's on the 12th of October. And then the Test Series England and Samoa to finish off this year in Wigan and Leeds on October the 27th and November the 2nd. No doubt it'll be cold and wet at the back end of the year. But the sun's come out to play in the second half here in Toulouse, and we've not seen it all day. It's here now, and hopefully the sun can shine on the England players and they can get the second half job done and get the victory, Paul Cook.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm confident they'll go on and win the game. You know, I'm not sure by what the scoreline will be, or whether France make this even more difficult than it is just a 10-point lead now. It'll be really interesting how the French go about attacking this first 15 minutes and how England can handle that. And if England can keep playing the game at the speed that they finished playing it in the first half.
Yeah, and final one, an interesting one. Toulouse against Featherstone to come after this match, obviously.
Yeah.
With your York hat on, which way do you want that one to go?
I couldn't care less, Greg. I've got enough to worry about tomorrow, mate. With Sheffield at home, so yeah, we've got a plan to win our game, and we'll forget about everybody else.
Great victory last week against Featherstone.
Yeah, the boys was good. Just don't tell them. If they pat themselves on the back too much, they'll fall asleep.
Right, so what have they got in front of us in this second half? First carry will be Chan from the back fence. Da Costa to Laguerre. O'Neill. Some proper defensive work from Brad O'Neill in that first half.
Underneath there, wow, picked up Sangara and chucked him around.
France going wide. Morg. Good defence, Harry Smith. Curry involved also.
It's been a good set, hasn't it, for the English to keep them inside the 40 for play 5. That's
Quick play the ball by
there we go.
Chan, and I think Chan's a little bit hard done by there. I think that ball's played up by an England player.
You're not, Craig. You're not going to get it. They're just going to give it to the defending team, even if you feel you've got up and got to your feet. You're better off just taking care. It's harshly done so because Ollie Wilson could be done with a flop. Tyler Dupree does get his feet in, but the referee's just going to go with the defending team at all times.
And that's not what the French wanted.
No, of course not. Yeah, I think that the set from England was good because it was going to kick out of their own 40 anyway, but the error from Chan gives England prime field position.
Wilson is brought down now. Williams, not the best pass to Harrison.
Yeah, well, thank him for that, the big fella.
But he makes something of it after contact, few more metres. Sangara was the defence to put him to the floor. First little snipe of the game.
Yeah, he juggled it, didn't he, Smith? He didn't catch it early, so that meant he couldn't play his pass. So really
garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, really good decision from Harry Smith.
Absolutely.
That's
now
a nice
Williams. Thought better of the pass, didn't he, there, Ben Curry? Wellesby down the short side to his skipper. Williams now looks for a kick. It rebounds off the post.
It's a knock-on.
It's a knock-on.
Yeah,
the ball bounces out and England survive. A great kick by Williams, and big James Harrison, Jimmy Harrison just couldn't get down, could he?
Couldn't get down, the big fella.
Yeah.
His dad would have done.
It would have been if it had a tenner, that is for sure. Obviously, Carl Harrison, former GB international, many times.
There's a
James's
couple of players still playing the game that I call Legends Lad. He's one of them. Ben Crook's another.
Out!
Yeah. So it's the French.
Held!
They've got some yards to make.
Hold!
Yaha with the carry.
Touch one.
England ramping up defensively.
Two. Move right back.
Harrison involved in that tackle with Wilson.
Two lords better.
Throwing Matty Nicholson. And between the three of them, they complete the tackle.
Hold.
He's better so far from the French. Taki Chan with that carry. Decent play of the ball. Farge goes down
Nice
the short
play.
side and they've created the numbers.
It's knocked down by England, isn't it?
Yep.
Touch, England ball.
England ball,
Oh,
says the referee. Maludi can't believe the decision.
Away, England ball. So play the ball. Where you going, mate?
Let's have a closer look at that one. I think he's probably right. Well, he's right because he's made the decision. Maludi
Yeah, play the ball, mate. Yeah,
cannot believe it. But again, it's mistake and mistake from the French. And when you're chasing the scoreboard, Paul, at this level, you can't afford to not complete your sets.
I think Hakim Maloudi's having an argument with his shadow there, isn't he? He's having an argument with his own shadow. I think the shadow won.
Was it cause an argument in an empty room?
Absolutely.
So England,
Go and give him
they'll be looking to add points. Good carry,
Yeah,
strong carry
over
from
the top
Wilson.
of someone.
Barges
Well
over
done.
the top of someone, plays the ball. O'Neill's down the short side to Welsby. Welsby bites into the French defence and it takes three of them to bring him down. Morg will be the last one in. Fullbacks in the line. England only a metre or so from that line. Wood. Oh, and Brad O'Neill. I think the pass was right on the money from Sam Wood, but it was good enough for Brad O'Neill to bring it in. And it's been a scrappy start to the second half from both sides, Paul Cook.
Yeah, it has the error from Taki Chan, and then
Here's a mark.
England make the error with Big James Harrison not being able to get down, and then France duly do the same. And Hakim Maloudi,
Ben, give him.
oh, he's got to catch that, hasn't he? Wow, Lee,
And it wasn't even as if he was looking
Yeah.
anywhere else but the
Yeah.
ball, wasn't it?
his poor skill, wasn't it?
Marker.
Yeah, be disappointed with that, Brad O'Neill. He's had a super start to the season
He's
with
had,
Wigan, hasn't
he's
he?
had a great season, yeah, to date. Yeah, along with the Wigan Warriors club, obviously.
He's tough, isn't he? Endurable. And
You can see why they let players go when they let them go, can't you? I mean, Sam Powell's not a bad player, is he? And Wigan have got one coming through, so they don't hold him back. And very similar to what St Helens did with Lachlan Coote and Jack Wellsby coming through. So, you know, your recruitment and your future planning of retention and recruitment is key.
yeah, I mean, Burrow, who's obviously started at the same time and has bounced round a couple of clubs, just signed at Hull in Super
Yeah.
League as well. And,
I won't mind knowing the number that Wigan have come through the Wigan system playing in.
and
Super
another
League.
knock on, but the referee's saying this time
He's got him this time. Is it Nicholson?
it goes with the French, and Williams is going to have a little word, I think, with Tom Grant.
Hands in, cause the ball come out. Let's go, mate.
And he's thought better of it. And the kick from touch, or to touch, should I say, by the standoff Rouge is good.
Let's have a look.
Two balls, mate. We'll take.
There's not much in that for me.
6 and 2 threes, isn't it?
Yeah, they've had a couple though, England, so...
And Chan makes the error.
Chan.
Two knock-ons.
I'll tell you what, Paul, let's press
Yeah,
rewind,
yeah,
all go back,
Oh, fast forward.
and we'll start again, and we'll start the second half again, because it's been an absolute awful start to the second half from both sides. And the score remains France 8, England 18. As I said, don't forget, $49.99 gets you a 6-month pass of Super League Plus. Lots of stuff on there, lots of feature documentaries, some old games. You might even see Paul Cook running around on there if you're lucky. There's O'Neill.
Be a joy to watch.
A joy, always a joy to watch you play, Paul.
I doubt that, mate.
Hold. Go, one is moving forward. That's one backwards.
There's England, that's a strong carry and some strong defence from Sangara. It was Wilson who was on the end of it. He's going to get to his feet, and Gudemon, he's in a bit of problems, and it's another mistake. And
Tyler Dupree
this
this
time Tyler Dupree goes for the ball, and I'm not sure we've had a...
I don't think either team want to win the game, Craig. It's how it looks, isn't it?
Both teams just want to defend, Paul. Dupree's trying to make up
Yeah, nearly knocked himself out.
for a mistake. Flies off the line. Been an awful start to the second half from both sides. Farge,
Surrender.
teammates overran him.
Stand now.
Decides just to take the tackle, and it's Wilson
Go two.
who wraps him up. This is better shape from the French, and on the inside pass comes Paul Seguiera.
Hold me. Go, three good lines.
Da Costa. Garcia. Steps late offload to Costa. Back to Fage. Fage with a little kick in behind. It's bouncing towards the sideline. First to it will be Welsby. Welsby beats the first man. Can't get away from Maludi.
I don't think anybody was on the same page as Theo Fargs there, was the England had come over, he's knocked on.
And England have knocked on Welsby now. It's turn to make a mistake. And
All I've got to play the ball.
It's a poor play, the ball is given.
It's not my fault.
It's not my fault.
he didn't knock it on, did he?
He didn't incorrect play the ball.
So let's have a look at that one. I didn't
He's
see
rolled,
it first off.
he's rolled it between his legs, is what he's saying. You've got to make a genuine attempt to put your foot on the ball. Well, he's played
And he
the
did.
ball.
And he did.
He's given it for he's pushed him off the mark, hasn't he? And as I said earlier on, when England got given one, you know, you're going to get them if you're the defending team.
So it's Goudemont.
It's not a great call. I don't think the referee's made a couple of poor calls early in the second half, but even themselves out.
They do indeed. Awful pass from Maludi to Garcia, but the French skipper above his head dragged it in and edges towards the try line. Da
Move
Costa
here left.
to Fage, further wide to Rouge. Rouge then hits Maludi. Maludi tries to go over the top of the England defenders, can't do so. It's back to Seguier. The Catalan back rower will go forward, and it's another penalty.
I think the referee's changed his whistle.
Oh, yeah, Alex.
I think he had nothing to do in the first half, so we're making sure we know that Tom Grant's here in the second half. But this is a great opportunity for the French. Can they get this game back in the balance? Only 10 points behind.
Yes.
Seguier is for the line. He's almost over the line. Now he's trying to wrestle.
Go on. I've got Harry Smith.
Goes to the right. Harry Smith's offside. They've got the numbers. Johnson reaches out. Can't bring it in. It's going to be another penalty.
You've got to be careful here.
Got to get someone in the bin soon.
Accumulation of penalties.
Yeah.
You can't say that they haven't invited France into this position, England, because they've incompleted sets 3 or 4 on the bounce, as well as giving penalties away for ill discipline. So the French could do with one here to make it a 6 or...
And England may
4-point
well
ball
get
game.
away with this in this game, but they won't against better
No, absolutely
opposition,
not.
will they? As Maloudi's ran 30 metres across the field, thought about the pass to Seguier, thought better of it, but he'll play the ball just short of the line. So they'll try and barge over through Chan. Certainly put himself in the picture, hasn't he, Chan, since his introduction from the bench. Fage, great footwork from Garcia,
Try
gets the
time.
ball away
Oh, he's
to
not
his
trying.
right-hand side. Has he
I think
dropped
he might
the
have
ball
lost
over
it.
the line? Goudemont. Goudemont's
it's
got up.
Harry Smith.
He's trying to blag this that he's got it. I'm not so sure.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Paul.
I think Harry Smith's done a great job here.
Let's have a look. Goudemont to the line. It's 10 minutes gone in the second half. Have the French got themselves back within 6 points with a kick to come? Or is it a magical defensive effort from Harry Smith to stop the danger? We need another look.
Looked to me like it was a knock-on. I don't think Goudemont's very confident. It's a great play from Garcia. Sangara on the short line, and then Theo Fargs goes across the field and drops back under Benjamin Garcia. Benjamin Garcia's footwork's fantastic. He does Brad O'Neill all ends up, doesn't he? Left foot, right foot, left foot. Finds a great pass to Goudemont, and
He's dropped
a
it.
knock-on.
Yeah, dropped it.
Yep.
I don't even think it was Harry Smith. I think it was a knock-on, Paul. I think Smith is there, but I think Smith has just wrapped him up and is in the art of scoring the try.
Oh,
He's lost the balls. It's definitely a drop
knock-on.
ball, isn't it? And
I think Harry Smith's done a great job, I think he gets a hand on it.
let's have a look.
I think he gets a hand on it there. Yeah.
He's got his arm on
Got
his arm, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And Smith straight away. He's dropped that. He's dropped that referee.
It's a special play. It's a special effort from Harry Smith.
That's a lost cause, isn't it?
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, for all money, 99 times out of 100, that's a try to Goudemont, and that one time you don't turn up. You know, you keep turning up, you keep turning up, you keep turning up, and that one time you turn up 100 times and you get that one, and Harry Smith's got it.
I don't know why we keep looking at it. It's an
not
absolute no-brainer for me. We could see from the first angle, and I know from experience, Paul, it doesn't come much worse than that, dropping the ball over the line.
I never got over very much. So.
Yes.
I can tell you one thing though. If I was Benjamin Garcia, I'd be throwing a rocket at somebody there.
Yes. He's a good player, Garcia. Isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's a very
very good player.
Fantastic player.
The French skipper. 6 again, and Goudemon's just added insult to injury by giving another couple of tackles away.
Yeah, Mikey Lewis on at 9.
Yep. As you said, I think that's probably just Brad O'Neill just been stood up.
Another error. Another error. Big James Harrison.
Garcia again as well, was it? I think it was Garcia again, Paul.
Somebody's levelled him. It's a great shot. Let's have a look.
No, Garcia was there. It was Maria, wasn't it? 17.
Yeah, he gets his head the wrong side. I think he almost knocks himself out. No, it's just...
Maria was first, and then it was Goudemont.
Goudemont got him with a second shot, didn't he, I think? Ready, bang, there. That's the shot, isn't it? Goudemont underneath the ball.
Yeah.
Off balance from Maria. I need them big fellas back on for me.
Busquets.
Sangara's just gone off, hasn't he, for Maria?
England have been shocking. 11 minutes after the break.
Well, they weren't great in the first half, was he, in the first 20 minutes, so followed suit a little bit.
Toussaint off the bench to replace Da Costa. It's his pass to Fage. Fage bites into the ruck and finds Morg. Morg tries to step away from Harry Smith, but Smith and Harrison complete the tackle. There's a bit of pushing. Offload to Chan. Chan spins out. Can he get an offload away? No, he can't. Nicholson.
Luke Thompson back
Thompson. The French are trying to gas. He does what he did last time, but this time Thompson hangs on, as does Mikey Lewis. Is that 6 again? No, says the referee. Not the best pass. It's into the arms of Fage. Further wide it goes. And the kick is in behind. It's bouncing round. It's a really good kick. But England do well to sniff out that danger, don't they? It's a super play by Ash Hanley. He had to... First job was just to make sure he got the ball. Then he could try to get back in the field of play. He couldn't do the latter, but he did what he had to do and stop the French from scoring the try, Paul.
Well, it's an important set coming up, isn't it? Because if England survive it, you would expect them to get to the other end of the field. You know, law of averages says the more incomplete sets you get, they're going to get one in the end to a completion. So this is a really important set. Does it stay at a 10-point lead, or can the French cut the deficit? Great tackle, that one, Harrison and Wilson.
Yeah, big hit. To play the ball, it's a penalty, and Maria, son. Yeah,
that's a fine, isn't it? You know, in possession of the ball, just whipping somebody's leg.
Yeah, it was a good hit, wasn't it, by Harrison?
I don't understand why players want. I mean, why you want to do that?
Yeah, kicked out, didn't he?
It's stupid, isn't it?
And you wouldn't be surprised if England turn all that rubbish into points.
Exactly that.
So exactly Nicholson.
That. He's in trouble there. Matthew Legia is in serious trouble. I think he's got to go off the field, the number 3. There we go.
Yeah. Referee will go and have a look. I think it's a head knock, isn't it?
Yeah.
As we said, don't forget, $49.99. That will buy you 6 months. Ticket for Super League Plus. Watch the best of the action from the Betfred Super League each week as the race to Old Trafford reaches its peak. Some big games coming up, some really big games coming up. Wigan the team to beat for me, Paul?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I said it before Wembley. I said I think if you beat Wigan this year, you either win at Wembley or you win the grand final. Yeah, I think they'll be in both of the finals, if not one off. I mean, what an achievement! They hold all 4 of the trophies that are possible to hold.
So Da Costa was off. Literally had 2 minutes and he's back on. Magic Weekend, August 17 and 18. Tickets on sale. Betfred Super League Grand Final, October the 12th. And England Samoa 27th and of October, November the 2nd. Leeds and Wigan for those venues. All tickets are available from the Rugby League. As England and Williams under pressure from Rouge. It's been a good battle, those two, hasn't it?
There's a bit of afters.
So it's been a real scrappy second half. That's a good, strong carry from Harrison. This will be the last one. Smith turns the ball back to Thompson. Thompson for the line.
Well, that'll do, Craig, won't it? Considering they've not completed a set for, But nigh
Since
on
yesterday.
nigh on 15 minutes.
since the last winter, since the first half, it seems like. Yeah, they've not started the second half too well of England. But I think the good thing what they've done, they've been absolutely shocking, Paul, and they haven't conceded any
Yeah,
points.
well, defensively strong. Yeah, defensively strong, which will certainly please the coaching staff.
And the first half was a half of two halves, wasn't it? England got certainly better in that second period of that first half. 4 tries in it. Wellsby, 2 from Hanley and 1 from Tom Johnson, 1 converted by Smith. Is England's 18 points. Yaha and 2 more goals for the French.
Yeah, big James Harrison looks like he's running on empty now.
Garcia has been the best player on the pitch in the second half.
That's not been difficult.
I was going to say you were second and I was third, but
Still a test match, yes. There's still points in the game, isn't there? Whether that's the French can close the gap or whether England can run away, I don't think it'll finish 18-8.
and the French have got to the last tackle this time. The kick from Rouge is long. It's in front of Wellsby and then skips back away from him. Can he get away from Fage? No, he can't, but he can offload the ball to Johnson. We saw some magic from the boots of Tom Johnson in that first half.
And the hands.
Now it's Hanley, the right winger, middle of the field.
Yeah, they look out of a bit of energy, England here.
6 again as Newman
I suppose that comes with incompleting all the sets they have.
comes to the middle of the field. Substitutes Tucson and Maria. Complete the tackle,
Take it
go
back.
back.
Take it back. Put the marker that way there. Tighter, Marcus. Marcus, tighter. Tighter, Marcus. Thank you.
Certainly does some talking, doesn't he, Tom Grant? Players like that, don't they? They know what they're doing.
He shouldn't have to tell players to mark up square and tighter, should he? That's their job. Don't tell him how hard to blow the whistle, do we?
Thompson. Harrison with another decent carry.
His face. Right there.
Gets to his feet. Smith at the line. Wellsby
Nice pass.
gets a pass away to Wood, who returns the ball to Wellsby. Wellsby hits the accelerator, gets a crack round the bonds for his troubles, but carries on. And he'll go and get another late offload to Lewis. Then Lewis, he gets the ball away to Williams. Williams beats one. Can he get away from the second one in the middle of the field? No, he can't. And Navarat just
come
about
right.
held on. They'll come to the right through Smith. Little kick in behind. Perfectly weighted. Matty Nicholson on the end of it. Super play from England. Really real quality. And once again, as soon as the game speeds up, the French can't cope. Little kick in behind by Matty Smith. Matty Nicholson's Johnny on the spot. First point of the second half. Go the way of the English. It's France 8, England 22.
Well, that'll help the young man after his error in the first half, won't it? Which gifted 6 points to the French. But it all starts with Sam Wood, doesn't it? On the on the left-hand side of the field, Wellsby finds him, and then he gets an offload back to Wellsby. It's great play from Sam Wood. Such a big man, isn't he? Finds that late with one hand offload, and then Wellsby makes a clean break. It ends up in the hands of George Williams, and they just can't get numbers back around that corner, the French, and it's too late before Harry Smith gets hold of the ball. Arthur Morgs in tackles on the front line. The kick from Smith's good again, isn't it? You see Arthur Morgs not at the back there, and very similar to what Arthur Morg did to England for the opening try.
Yeah, he did. And Wellsby he's just there, isn't he, Paul? He puts himself in right places at the right times.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And he has the ball on the string on his left foot, doesn't he, out of hand, that is for sure.
And again, Harry Smith, when you need someone calm, cool and collective.
Absolutely outstanding.
The number of times, Paul, as a half-back, when he plays the right play, 99 out of 100, isn't he? He doesn't often get the play wrong. They might not score points, but you very rarely criticise him for, oh, he should have passed, or he should have kicked, or he should have went short, or he should have went long.
Very smart, isn't it?
No, he's
to be able to see the game and read the game like that is a real skill, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the biggest compliment I can give him. Everybody else is playing at fast forward.
Yeah, he's playing in slow mo. Yeah,
he's playing in slow motion.
The game's easy when it's slow motion in your own head, isn't it? It's when it gets too quick and Harry Newman runs around you.
So Smith, he's missed that one as well. So he's not having he's having a shocker with.
Yeah, and he's a pot shot sometimes, isn't he? And I said that we say this quite a lot. Genuine goal kickers don't miss. They don't miss them opportunities. You know, he's got a quality good kick on him. If he misses his first couple or he misses 2 or 3 of the first 4 like he has done, and I think it's difficult for him.
Maybe he's got to get his goal kicking from slow-mo into fast-forward.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Well, Adam Kieran's back next week. I think he's served his 3-game ban, so Wigan have certainly blessed with a couple of very good goal kickers.
Yeah, absolutely.
That should have been out on the full.
And I watched the game last week again against London, and another young half-back coming through the ranks as well, who had
yes, Jack Fairmond, yeah.
Had another super game.
Yeah.
If we're talking about things bright and rosy in someone's garden, Wigan's garden certainly Chelsea flower show, isn't it?
Well, they had a couple of nice games after Wembley, didn't they? I'm not saying that disrespectfully to Cass and London, but you know, they got the job done at Cass just, and then they found a way to beat London to 0, and then they're back riding the bike out there after what was an emotional week. So they're going to take some beating.
Williams to Nicholson. Oh, that looked dangerous.
Oh, there's a bit afters again.
Rouge. And Nicholson is another one of that product line of Wigan, isn't he?
He's on his way to the NRL, I'm told.
I think that's done deal, isn't it? Yeah, signed, sealed, delivered, that one, I think. To Canberra. I like the Pommies in Canberra, don't they?
Yeah, it's not serving. It's not serving them very well at the minute, is it?
Fox League. All right.
Lost again
in Australia and America. Also in Digicel in the Pacific Islands, if you're watching. Seen a half-decent game of rugby. 22 points to 8. England lead over the French. Yaha, bit of push in. It's Busquets back into the action, plays the ball quickly. Navarrete, the other front rower, as the French try and get their starting middles back into the action, get them back on the front foot, is where they were when they left this game. Centre Rouge will put a little kick in, but that's not the best.
They should have thrown him.
Johnson says, thank you very much. And he will drive the ball forward, and he's got to kick better than that, hasn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, if he's going to do that, he's got to kick it higher, hasn't he? It was just a little chip over straight into his hands as that looked forward.
Thanks for that.
Newman out the back door to Hanley. Hanley then to Nicholson.
Minchella back on the field here.
There's England. Harry Newman. Tackled in midfield. Lewis at dummy half. Not had an opportunity to see Mikey Lewis use those magic feet.
It's not a natural position for him at 9, is it?
And then he's going to have a little snipe.
That's more like him, isn't it? Just carrying the football.
He's got that ability to something into anything, hasn't he, as Smith. Down the short side, Curry with the dummy. He's got numbers on inside. Wellesby again just follows, he's around. He puts the ball under the back of the sticks and dots it down for another try. 6th try for England. Matty Smith will convert this one, I'm sure of that. But England, and again, we talk about Mikey Lewis not being involved in the game, and all of a sudden picks up, quick play the ball, 2 touches later, and Wellesby's dotting the ball down under the sticks. It's France 8. England 26.
Yeah, it's the speed of ruck again, Craig, isn't it? When Mikey Lewis jumps out, he wins that next ruck. He gets half through, doesn't he? He finds the ground, plays it quickly, and then it's a 3v2 on the short side. Harry Smith on to Ben Curry. Ben Curry shows a dummy to the winger on that far side, Hakim Maludi, and then he finds open space in front, draws a full back, and Jack Wellesby back up the middle of the field as always. Scores a try under the post.
Yeah.
If Harry Smith misses this, he might as well give up, eh?
Awful player. Awful. Yeah, and again, just the speed of the game, isn't it? As you said, you know.
Yeah, as soon as it gets quick, the French are in bother here. It's England who've got to speed it up. They've not got to the end of enough sets second half, but as soon as it does speed up, Mikey Lewis speeds the game up, and then they pick off that short side again where the big French players can't get round that corner.
He's got a quality, hasn't he, Mikey Lewis, where things happen when he's on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he carries the football. He's dangerous, isn't he?
You know, we're talking about the best 2 young halfbacks in Super League. There's one in Harry Smith kicking, and the games are polar opposites almost, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Harry controls the game. Mikey speeds it.
And here he goes. So he's okay, Paul. He can still play for the rest of the...
He can play now.
You know, we'll allow him. Second goal. 6 tries and 2 goals, so not the best effort with the boot, but he's still 20 points to the good in England's favour. France 8, England 28. And can they play together, Paul?
Yeah, they can play together. Lewis and
Yeah.
I think Harry Smith plays with either Williams or Lewis. It's the other two that I would worry about in terms of can Lewis play with Williams. I'm pretty sure that can happen too. I think one thing Mikey Lewis has developed over this the last 6 months of this season is an ability not to get involved in the rubbish that he did do, you know, and not to get involved in petulancy. I think he's come a long way with that.
That looks like it's out on the full.
Forward, that's coming 0.
It's going to be a knock on. It didn't.
Forward, England ball.
It's going to be England ball, and you know, we discussed this many times in our adventures over the M62, don't we, on a Friday night or a Sunday afternoon, and you know, I think he's matured a lot this year, hasn't he?
Me too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you know when you're talking about players that could fight themselves in an empty room, then Mikey would have been one of them a year ago, and I think he's really changed that about his game because he's got a similar player in Tyrone May at Hull KR alongside him, where they're both a little bit off the cuff, and I think Mikey's had to learn to curb that a little bit and find kicks and run the game a little bit smarter, which isn't his normal game, but I think he's doing okay and. He's not getting involved in as much rubbish. I think he was the best player in the semi-final against Wigan for Hull KR.
Yeah, he's a threat, isn't he? As England keep the ball alive, and Williams offloads back to Thompson. And again, it's going to be a late tackle.
One sec, Mikey, wait there.
Referee's just making sure that everyone's back, so Mikey Lewis
He
will
wants
kick
to speed
touch.
the game up, see. You know, he wants to get the game going. He knows the French are struggling when England speed the game up.
Newman to Nicholson. Busquets, Navarrete. Hold him up, can't put him to the floor. Lewis's dummy half has a little look and decides the best option is to his front rower, Thompson. Thompson's put to the floor again. Heads up play from Lewis, goes to his left and another little short pass. The French defence is strong. Now they come to Smith, to Welsby, over the top it
Not
goes
the player, was it? Long.
to Hanley. Hanley's does well to take the ball, but there's nothing on offer for him after that, and he's put to the floor. Slow play of the ball, Newman.
Oh.
Bit of a shocker to Smith. Smith will then go further wide to Minchella. Minchella to Lewis. Lewis with a poor pass, and Maludi had the opportunity to pick that one up. I'm not sure he'd have had the pace to get there, but what he should have done was just dropped on the ball and give France a bit of a respite, ball in hand, and do from the defensive work they've done. But all he's done is invited some more defence with another set, 6 tackles, Paul Cook.
Yeah, that's disappointing, wasn't it? Ash Hanley's pass, was it? Not Ash Hanley, was it? Harry Newman from dummy half and goes over the top of Jack Welsby, and then the pass from Harry Smith to Minchella. And then, you know, they're just passing on poor passes, aren't they? And
Garbage in, garbage out.
get a bit lucky. They get a bit lucky here.
Get it now. Out.
So Lewis, that's a shocking
another
pass
pass
as well. And basics, aren't they? It's been that kind of performance from England. Sam Wood
Move now.
runs a good line.
Hold. Go and Barker, move.
It's a worthwhile exercise for Sean Wayne and his staff, isn't it? Because some players are answering questions and putting their hands up, and some players haven't. And
Some players crossing themselves out almost.
possibly.
Smith.
I don't think anybody's crossing themselves
No,
out. but
that's
yeah,
harsh.
it's just-
Absolutely
yeah,
harsh.
it's just-
I think it's a
you
learning curve,
You expect
isn't it?
more of them. You
A
know,
learning
we
curve.
see most players most weeks, and you just expect
Smith.
more of them.
Out the back it goes to Lewis, and again Lewis's pass is wrong, and this time Maludi does drop on it and does what he should have done 6 tackles earlier, and England haven't learned from their errors and do exactly the same as what they did 6 plays earlier.
Yeah, 4 from England again, wasn't it? But
Another pass from
I just think they want to defend this second half. 13 to play.
it's been a poor second half quality wise
Yeah,
from
quality,
both
the
sides,
quality.
Paul.
Yeah. Defensively, England have turned up.
So Yaha under pressure from Newman and Hanley. Minchella as well. There's another 6. 2 Sonnet dummy half. It's a good carry from Busquets. We'll get to halfway on player 1. Again, shocking pass. Detail's been poor for both sides. That's better from Morg. Straightens
Well,
up and
got him.
2-on-1. into some free space.
Defended that really
There's
well,
Griffey,
Tom
yeah.
Johnson. Really well.
Yeah.
Because he turned
Edged
his back.
his backs, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He defended it so well, the left winger.
But the French are down the right end of the field for them for the first time in a long while. Toussaint at dummy half. Gets the pass away, and that's good lines, and that's a real high shot,
Wood.
isn't it? Sam Wood on Morg. Navarrete runs in and sticks up for his full-back, but the referee had already seen it. Is it 10 minutes, Paul?
Possibly. Let's have a look at it. Does he not miss? I'm not sure.
We can't see from
he
that
jumps
angle.
up out of Morg. That might save him.
Not going to get another look at it. Is Sam Wood going to...
I've got him falling, mate. There's lots of height. And he's secondary, which takes it down to penalty only.
Penalty only, says the referee.
I'm going. Wait there, pal. What are you doing? Wait there.
What are you doing? We're not going to go for goal.
Playing rugby, sir. I'm going to tap it.
And the French do tap it. And the back rower,
One.
Seguier,
Hold.
will carry, but Mikey Lewis
Go, one.
snipers him round his ankles. Da Costa
Play on.
to Farge, over the top, quick hands,
Still one, still
into the arms of Maludi. Maludi beats one, tries to wrestle away from Johnson, can't do it. The French still only 10 metres away from the line. Farge to Navarrete.
Three. Move.
Thompson, Matty Lee's back into the action. Halt that charge.
God, until three.
And they'll go wider. Good speed
Good-
off the
good
line.
defence, wasn't it? Up
George
and in.
Williams really
Great
quick.
decision.
You've locked him in the rock. Go, four. Play on.
Seguier to Morg. Morg with the little kick. Wellesby's there. Nothing he can do but kick the ball dead.
That's where Wellesby's in the line, but he goes out of it because he gets players around the corner. So, unlike the first half, this time he goes out of the line and manages to shuffle the ball dead with a kick, doesn't he? So, smart play from Jack Wellesby. Keeps the
indeed.
line intact second half.
Drop out from under the post is France 8, England 28.
Let's go, mate.
Super League half-season pass available for $49.99. Watch the best of the action from the Betfred Super League each week, as well as featured documentaries and some classic older games. Magic Weekend tickets are available August 17 and 18. Betfred Super League Grand Final October the 12th, and England Samoa October the 27th, November the 2nd. Leeds and Wigan. Those two games tickets available via the RFL. But this mid-season test match earlier, so France 0, England 42, 8 tries and 5 goals in a very comprehensive display. Amy Hardcastle from Leeds given the man of the match in that one. Zoe Harris for myself and Paul Cook.
Yeah, I thought she was fantastic.
Yeah. As the game, this one, as the French try and get the ball to the edge, and Seguier is there, but he can't get away from Matty Nicholson. Back to the middle it comes. And Navarrete up against Lewis and Thompson. This will be the last one. Rouge with the kick, rebounds, not played, that says the referee, and that's going to be the last. Thompson will wrestle Navarrete to the floor, and England will have the ball 10 metres away from their own line. Paul Cook, 9 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, it's scrappy, wasn't it, from the French? They didn't really offer too much there in that set.
I think it sums up the second half,
Yeah,
really. It's been a
possibly,
scrappy
yeah,
second
yeah.
half, hasn't it?
Hold.
You know, certainly.
Hold. Go, keep your
Again, I think we'll repeat what we said in the first game. Improvement from the French. Certainly the French
it was
are going to
always-
improve with the Catalan players involved.
It was always going to be, wasn't it, with the quality of player that they've got available to them in this competition here, in this test match, whereas in previous seasons there's not had as many Catalan players. So we always knew it was going to be a more interesting test match.
Minchella. Done okay, Paul?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, not done anything wrong. I think it's difficult to find a player of the match because, you know, players have made errors and the game's been scrappy.
Great play by
fantastic
Lewis.
from
Magic. He's
Lewis.
got Williams with
That's
him on
gonna
his
be a
shoulder.
try.
Numbers inside and out. Absolutely magical play by the Hull KR halfback. He creates something out of absolutely nothing. And the benefactor this time is his skipper, George Williams. Made in Hull, scored in Warrington. And England increased their lead. It's France 8, England 32.
Dynamite, isn't he? He just jumps into the air and then steps off his left foot and he just beats the French defenders all ends up, doesn't he? And just makes them look foolish. sensational play from Mikey Lewis, and that's what he is, isn't he? He's a runner of the football, and once he runs the football, he's so dangerous. His skipper's just on his right-hand shoulder and gleefully accepts the gift. That's wrapped up by Mikey Lewis. Sensational play from the little half-back playing at hooker.
Yeah, what a player. To have pace, Paul Cook, eh?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
If only. Super play by Mikey Lewis. And, you know, he's certainly a player that Hull KR can build for the next few years around if they can keep hold of him. Paul,
yeah, listen, they
the
NRL. They may well be dragged 12,000 miles, and I don't think anybody at Hull KR would begrudge him of that.
He was dragged 6 miles across the city originally, wasn't he? And
I just think with Mikey, you've got a player who's just you can build around, but if he does want to go over there and test himself, then that is up to him, Craig. And it would be very similar to Josh Hodgson, who was at Hull KR when I think he agreed a deal with Neil Hudgell, and he went in to see Neil and said, "I've got an opportunity to go over to Canberra." And he's never come back. He's at Parramatta on the staff there now, so it's going to be a really interesting sort of year or two for Mikey Lewis and where he ends up. I think he's a quality player, and I think he'd go great down in the NRL.
He's different, Paul, isn't he?
Well, he's box office, isn't he? When he gets hold of the football, things happen, and they're the type of players that you want in your team. And yeah,
Smith converts from right in front.
Smith's the opposite, isn't he? He's not. He's a controller of a football game and with his left foot, and gets you around the field and plays the right plays at the right times. And Mikey gets hold of the ball, very similar to George Williams too. Just gets hold of the ball and plays plays on a little bit of instinct.
Yeah, in a game that nowadays is very, very structured, he's got a different rule book, hasn't he? And he plays, he plays to his own.
For me though, Craig, that comes with the coaching staff that he's got at the club because ultimately you can stifle players who've got ability to play. You can play to too much structure. It's no good asking Mikey Lewis to stand out on an edge and give him a wide pass and try and play structured, because he's not going to be effective like that. Oh, nice tackle.
Yeah, from the fence, Matty Lees winds up, doesn't he?
Navarrete shortened him.
5 minutes left. Tom Johnson, England. Can they finish with a bit of quality? And again, Navarrete, late offload from Thompson, gets the pass away to Lewis, and Lewis beats one, beats two, beats three, and almost into free space. Mikey Lewis, a magical spell from the Hull KR halfback as he's brought down on halfway. His captain, Minchella, jumps into dummy half. Welsby, he's been in and around everything that England have done well. He fights to his feet. He plays the ball. Lewis, not the best pass to Smith, but he brings it in and beats one defender. Straightens up. He had Minchella on his shoulder. Couldn't get that offload away as Navarrete, probably his fourth tackle of this set, is left on the floor. Lewis to Williams. Out the back it goes to Welsby. England have got the numbers here as just a change of angle from Newman, and Nicholson and Newman not on the same wavelength. The pass hits one and then bounces to the other. And again, I think that was an opportunity because they had the numbers there if they'd run it properly, Paul Cook.
Yeah, they had some numbers out there, didn't they? They just sort of all ran towards the sideline, didn't they, and run each other out of space.
Yeah, and Farge and Rouge, Morg all come across, but the end result is a penalty.
Difficult to pick a player of the match, Craig, isn't it? I'm inclined really to go with Ben Curry, who's done nothing wrong and been, error-free and been decent defensively and offensively.
I was going to pick two, and I couldn't choose between them. Ben Curry was one, and I think Jack Welsby has been involved in England's big moments as well. Not really done anything wrong, not really been tested defensively, but when there's been tries, he's been in the picture, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So not the best team performance, but job done, got to win.
Yeah,
Paul.
absolutely. Yeah, and they'll be better for it. The players will work on their combinations. It's really important that we jump on the international game, and we bag it. We're a sport that does ourselves no favours, and I think if we're going to play mid-season internationals, then we've got to jump on it, and we've got to help the game.
Yeah, absolutely. As the French go down the short side, the pinnacle of any game has got to be the international level. And if we don't have that, we're struggling, aren't we? As
a couple of players that have collided.
I think they've collided. Friendly fire, I think, a little bit there. As Yaha comes up with certainly not a structured kick, and Smith just picks the ball up and offloads it to his fullback.
Go, one surrender.
I think what we can say, Paul, there's a lot of good young talent in the English
Yeah,
game. isn't
absolutely,
there?
absolutely.
There is a lot of reasons to be cheerful.
Of course there is. We're always glass half empty, aren't we?
Well, we're very self-critical. I say this many times, don't we? We, as a sport, we're very critical of when we get things wrong. We don't often pat ourselves on the back when we get it right. And there's some good young talent coming through this England team. None better than Mikey Lewis there. Offloads to his skipper, club skipper.
Release him.
That is Minchella.
Go, 5.
This will be the last one.
Ollie Wilson.
Smith, another one of those fine young players. That's a great kick. Really good kick in behind the French, turning more ground. Handley had chased well. Lees was there also. Throwing Wilson. That's a really good kick and a really good chase in the 78th minute,
absolutely.
Paul, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You know,
Relentless.
petrol on empty. As Maludi tries to get over Newman.
Hold.
You know, there's a fair nucleus of this squad, Paul, that are going to be here for the next 5 to 6
Yep,
years, isn't there?
absolutely.
You know, there's not too many older heads, is there? You know, that has to be a good sign.
Hold. On the mark.
Into the dying embers of the game. 34-8. England lead.
Yeah, last minute and a half here.
I think Andy Last will be wanting or demanding that England
Hanley is away.
keep their defensive line as Handley goes one-on-one with Morg. Almost gets rid of him. The reinforcements come across, led by
Ball's got to
Justin
go left.
Sengara. There must be numbers left. It's a slow play of the ball. There's 6 again, says referee Tom Grant. Harry Newman's at dummy half. Mikey Lewis has a little look and then he skips and pushes away defenders 1. Gets away from Sangara, then throws the dummy, and then he's belted
Surrender.
by
Stand now.
Lugier.
He's back off the HIA, isn't he?
Slow play of the ball.
Go, play on.
Wood goes down the short side, puts a little kick in behind, wants Nicholson to chase. Nicholson does chase. And all that Rouge can do is kick the ball dead.
Yeah, Harry Newman, wasn't it? I don't think they'll get to the kick here. There's going to be a 30-second shot clock. I'm not sure the French want to get the ball back in play, and it's going to be game over, 34-8 to England. Job done.
Yeah, it is. The referee's trying to get them to kick, but as you said, 30 seconds. It was 34, I think, when
Let's
drop
go,
out
let's
was
go, let's
given.
go, Tom Grant's saying. He's not had made a tackle, though, has he? Or had a carry.
and Theo Fagi's saying, look, there's 30 seconds left.
Oh,
just
look,
let them.
they've called time off.
Yeah.
Tom Grant's a sadist.
So Newman skips the ball into Williams, who's going to float it across to Smith, who's going to dink the ball over
That's
the
gonna
top,
be a try.
looking for Tom Johnson. What's the bounce of the ball? Johnson takes it. Johnson steps inside and Johnson scores. That's a really good way to finish this international. It's a great try in the corner from Tom Johnson. That's his second of the game. England are going to get to 38 points. Kick to come. Job done. Some good things, some bad things, some ugly things. But overall, the priority was to get the job done, and they've done that, Paul
Yeah,
Cook.
absolutely. No wonder the French didn't want to get the game back underway, is there? No,
Yeah, I think Tom Grant gets an assist
Tom
for
Grant's
that one,
not done
doesn't
them a
he?
favour there, has he, at all? Harry Smith summed up the situation again. The left foot sweet, isn't it? Just into the space, and tired French defence has made a couple of grabs at Tom Johnson, who dives over in the corner, and Harry Smith will have a chance to make it a 40-point ball game.
You know, that goes back to my previous point with he's got options to pass short, pass long, kick.
Yeah,
And once again,
he doesn't come up with them. I don't
know,
even think he's going to kick the goal.
he picks the right card out of his bag, doesn't he? And you know, he's a super player.
Oh, he's going to kick it. Look,
Let's go. One sec.
So all the players have had enough.
players have had enough, and Harry Smith wants to make it 40. Just kick the ball, son.
Yeah,
Just
so
get
Harry
it kicked.
Smith,
He's the one who wanted to drop out, Tom Grant.
Oh, you never.
has he nailed it? Has he nailed it from the touchline? You
He's
bet
made
he
it 40
has.
points.
He's nailed it from the touchline after the final hooter. But that's the end of the game, Paul. And sum that one up.
Yeah,
France
job done.
8,
Yeah,
England
job
40.
done. I think job done, and I think what Sean Wayne and Andy Last will critique the most is the start of the game. But they've come through that. The 12-minute period from 20 to 32 minutes was sensational. That probably puts the game to bed. Scrappy second half, but the job's done, and the more games that these players play together, the better they'll be.